What are we doing today?
Continuing on rocker arms.
Rocker arms and what?
It's supposed to look like this and not be so hard to turn
Why are they hard to turn?
because it's all gold up.
All right, well, there's the answer I was asking. And galled up's because of what? Lack of lubrication. Huh?
Bad oil.
Bad oil. All right.
It's stuck.
Bad oil.
Bad oil or no oil. Probably both. Don't put 20/50 in your pan, it doesn't work.
Really? I did not know that.
Unless it's Tribodyne, it might do it, maybe.
All right, well.
Alright, so these are all sanded from yesterday. That was last night's project. So now they're nice and smooth, nice and flat.
So tell them.
See how flat that is?
Yeah, so tell them why that is.
See, that's how flat it is.
So when you bolt them down, they don't flex on them, right? Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
You can actually pull them up. Okay, so I got to beat the roll pins or dowel pins back in.
Beat them in.
Beat them with a big ass hammer.
Yeah, right.
Now, if you don't have the right dowel pins, you can use the rod rollers, same size.
Rod.
Never beat on your mill table.
Okay.
I would never do that.
Well, if Fred did that, you'd be all over Fred like a cheap suit.
There you go. Never do that. Now, when you put these together, they don't fit very well like this. See? You got to make sure that the long side and the long side go together, and they fit together. And if you didn't mix them up, they should line up. Now I stamped them over here, but I can't read the marks. Can you read the mark?
I cannot.
When you get the light just right, it reflects. It looks like a 2 here.
All right. Well, in other words, just mark them so you get them back matched.
Or 3. It could be a 5.
And is that because of the wear on the bushing?
I don't know if these are the same or not, but they seem to fit pretty close, so we'll go with them. That's because they get worn. We went over this in the previous videos. You weren't here.
I didn't, but I'm just trying to recap for the audience. That's all.
It wears from here to here. See this angle?
Yeah.
And then on the other side, it wears from here to here.
Okay.
So the wear pattern's like this.
Okay.
When you flip it over, there's no wear here.
Okay.
This is nice, fresh, good area. Up here, it's trash. It does the same thing on the lifter block, or not the lifter block, but the rocker arm block. The bottom one only gets wear on the one side, and the top gets worn the same way on the opposite sides.
Are those brass? The top ones are brass?
Yeah, see how it wears in here? It doesn't wear on this side.
Okay.
It wears on this side, but not this side.
All right, so what's the replacement for bringing that back up to specs?
You buy aftermarket ones that are pieces of crap,
Okay.
and they're loose as a goose when you buy them, so you still have to rebuild them.
All right, so what did you do to rebuild them?
I sanded them.
Yeah, but that doesn't bring up any of the wear tolerance, though, does it?
It makes the whole oval shape instead of round. So now.
So did you actually machine this here?
No, I cut this.
Oh, okay. All right, to tighten them up. All right, well, that's what I was asking.
So here's your rocker
I
arm.
got you.
It goes in there. Here's your new block piece. It goes down. See how it doesn't rotate now?
Yeah, okay.
Because it's tight. So now you got to recut the hole back around.
All right.
And see how this here looks like a 2 and that one looks like a 3? Or is that a 2 and a 2? That's a 2 and a 2. So anyway, depending on, if you didn't take off enough, it won't be tight. Now this one's not very tight. It's pretty close. I ground a lot off too. So we're going to have to hone these. So, first thing you do is get your blocks put together as pairs. Now, I previously marked them crappily with crappy ass thing. That looks like 4s and 4s. So you got to make sure you put the same pieces together, because if you mix and match, these aren't made equally, so they'll be side to side, up and down. They'll be all over the place.
How do you remove those pins from those blocks? Just pliers?
I used a milling machine.
Well, that doesn't tell me anything, but whatever.
Well, if you watch the previous video,
what if somebody watches,
the previous
turns
2
on?
videos,
All right, well, then maybe they'll go back to the other ones. I don't know that answer. Oh, okay. Okay, well that didn't take you nothing to show everybody.
Back and forth and it comes out.
All right, cool.
So you have to have a milling machine,
Yeah,
a collet set.
yeah, all right.
And
All right.
then you should be good to go.
Okay,
Now if you have a lathe, you can do the same thing, but the lathe doesn't squeeze like a collet. It'll put marks in there a little bit.
okay.
And you have to have a small chuck lathe, not like my 6-jaw. I can't get anywhere near that size.
Okay.
See, these have 48 written on them,
Yeah,
casting.
that means they're old.
These ones here don't have that on them. These are off the 65 bike. Now these are more of a nickel bronze, and these are more of a cast bronze.
Right.
Different material.
What's better?
They all wear out, but the later ones are slightly stronger, I think.
Makes sense.
And we also sanded this side flat. So when you bolt these together, everything's flat.
Well, those bolt to the cylinder head.
Yes, if the cylinder head's not flat, when you tighten it down, it warps them
I'm sure.
and locks the rocker arm up.
I'm sure.
So what I do is I do the block to block like this, because when you just put a bolt between these surfaces here, it still will be different. At least this way you get a flat surface to a flat surface.
Gotcha.
So it keeps it more even. So I just use a long bolt with a couple washers and a nut. And put them together like this. And make up little pairs of them. Then you can go ahead and fit your holes. And I'm not sure what size the hole is, but that's the next thing to figure out. Until I got 8 bolts. Now you rub them to make sure there's no dirt or anything in between them. We already know they're flat. I'm not going to get yelled at for throwing parts around on this bench. It doesn't make noise.
Don't let
See when I do
Tatro
that?
catch you.
When I'm on a steel bench, it really sounds like I did a lot of damage.
Yeah, I know. Then you got to draw file the bench to make it flat.
And then I get all the hate mail from dumbasses on YouTube, experts out there, saying I'm screwing up all your parts.
Well, if they've done this as many times as you have, they can
It's a Harley part.
criticize.
It doesn't matter if you drop
Yeah.
it.
They could
The
criticize.
stupid Honda will probably damage it, but it's a Harley. It's tough. It'll take it. Someone crossways first time. See that dug in there? Because they purposely make it where you can't put a wrench inside these things. What's that torque?
15 pounds
Tight.
per square inch.
How
And
tight
that's
is that?
TIT.
How tight is that?
Tight.
Tight. Dumbass. Tighten nut, not bolt. You know why you do that? You know why you tighten the nut instead of the bolt?
Because you're diminishing the distance on the nut, not on the bolt.
Because you get more torque by tightening the nut than the old bolt.
Oh, all right. Makes good sense.
The bolt has more drag for the same torque.
Right.
So they actually get more tightening power by tightening the nut. than
Because the
bolt.
surface of the bolt through the block.
Yeah, has drag on it. Also, the bolt's this long, so you got that much twisting power in
Right.
it.
Mhm.
So that's a torsional twist. It takes away some of the impact load
Sure.
or wrench load. If you're on a nut, that doesn't twist. It just
Okay.
pulls down the bolt. All right, so now we got these. Now we got to hone these to the size. Now it's hard to check the fit on this because you can't take these in and out. So yeah, you just have to know what the standard size is. Now, these are the 58 rockers. These are the 65 rockers. Now, the 65 is the better bike, so we're going to make sure it has the best rockers. So you feel for the wear lip. Can you hear my thumb hitting it? See over here, there's no wear lip. So it wears right across the hole right here. We get a big wear pattern. And then over here is maximum. Maximum wear is always on the valve side right here. You see how it starts to tear the metal up, the pressure? Now, if you had that Tribodine oil in there, it wouldn't do that probably.
Where can a guy get Tribodine oil?
I don't know.
I've never seen it on the store.
Yeah.
Can they search that on the internet?
Maybe.
Or you got to buy it from a distributor, which you are.
I don't know.
Will you ship it if they buy it from you?
I got it on eBay right now.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have it in my van,
See, this is a little bit heavier.
and I like it.
Oh, we were supposed to do a video about that.
That's all right.
See, this has a little more wear on this one.
Yeah.
Well, when you get some time, we'll do a video all about that.
Okay.
We
Right
don't-
now we're doing rockers for
we-
56
We
and
don't want to let the cat out of the bag on what's going to happen.
58 and a 65.
What year was that?
This is a 58 and a 65. Oh, my van's a 2014.
No, we don't care about your van. Now, see, this has a lot of wear on this one. See the wear on that one?
Yeah.
So this one's not too good, but we're going to use it anyway.
Those are available aftermarket, huh?
The aftermarket ones are made wrong. This is an aftermarket. This is a Harley.
And how can you tell that by just looking?
Harley always has a chamfer or has a cut on the top.
Uh-huh.
Aftermarket doesn't.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Plus, the early aftermarket, I mean, original early, they have a separate button. See, it's actually a riveted in
Right,
button.
sure
It's a
do.
hardened button. These ones don't have the hardened button.
I'll be damned.
Just harden the top.
Huh.
These are later ones here. See, these are aftermarket, most likely. So these are all aftermarket ones. These have to be reground to the right angle. Now, see, it's got all these flats in there. So it's supposed to be a radius, not a flat. So these are a little bit better condition, but they're all aftermarket. These ones will actually fit the bike better because the radiuses are easy right, but this one's all worn out too. See how it's all flatted out? But the problem is these things are worn heavily through here, so they're not as good as the aftermarket ones. So now the later pan-end ones, they might have went to this design, but I think they're all, everyone I've seen it was stock had this on there, as I recall. So I think this is an aftermarket set. These blocks might be aftermarket too, but I think these are original. No, see how they got the cast number down here? So these are probably original blocks. Just got repop on them. These are all original here. Everything's original on this bike.
That's the 58.
Now this here is a special reamer. See what it says on it?
Yeah. Head pan.
And see what size it is? 1 1/16.
Yeah.
This is 7/8.
Okay.
So this is the reamer we use to work on these. So we don't use this end. We use this end. When this goes on the hole, it's the right size.
Okay.
This has been all honed, so it's nice and round and true. And it's 7/8. It's actually a half thou under 7/8, and the rocker arms are 3/4 thou, so you get about a 1/4 thou clearance if these go. If this goes through and these go on, and they're right on the money, you got a 1/4 thou clearance. But you always hone this so it's got a little bit of looseness in it, which will give you an extra, probably, you have about a thou clearance by the time you're done. If this fits in and out nice and freely like you should. So this is my standard. So instead of buying a standard, I just use something I already own, which is a reamer. So this is actually a tool, not a reamer. I've never used it for a reamer. I use it for a tool.
How were you able to discern that?
I have a mic.
Okay. All right.
Now this is an adjustable reamer. I haven't used this yet. So I got this set to go in here to rep these in. So now I got to turn this and run it on through. Now I can either use this on a power and a lathe and hold on this with a block with a wrench, or I can hold this in a vise and this is a hand reamer. See, it's got a square on top. All hand reamers have squares on top. Machine reamers don't, see.
Gotcha. All right. Didn't know that.
That's just a hand reamer and a regular reamer. Now this is an adjustable reamer. So you can adjust it right here. This is split, so it bows up in the middle like this.
Mm-hmm.
Now what's nice about these is they bow up in the middle, so that means it'll start the hole here. It'll follow the hole in self-center, not go in at an angle and drill a hole like that.
Right.
It'll follow the hole as you go down. And as you come out the other side, it gets loose again, so it doesn't keep cutting.
Right.
So it only cuts out what you need. That's what's nice about this style for this application. If you have a through hole, this works pretty good. If you have a blind hole, you need a different style reamer. They have expandable ones that don't have this on the front. They expand more like, they expand. They got a screw that goes from here to here, and it cuts right from the tip. There's some of those behind you up there, but they're very, it's a whole shelf full up there. You gotta go up higher. Yeah, that shelf right there. A whole bunch of reamers there. All kinds of different ones.
By the way, we're using the monopod on the camera tonight.
Yeah, we're not supposed to say who sent that.
Well, the guy who sent it'll know, so thank you.
How's
For-
Alan like it?
From me, from the filming department, I seem to like it pretty well. You notice I'm not shaking. My meds are working, and also
Meds are working,
it's
and,
pretty stable.
And then the tripod.
Yeah, monopod.
The monopody.
Yeah.
And I brought the official ringing tool here.
We haven't tried the Scooby Snacks yet. I tried to smoke one of them, but that's
Yeah.
not what it was.
Now, there's a tool right there you can use for turning this reamer. It's right there. Yeah, that thing.
That looks like a handmade.
It's called a tap driver. No, this is store-bought. They used to actually make tools that were nice in the old days. See, now you got a hand tool with some leverage, and you got good control. You can pull evenly instead of just on one side with the crescent wrench. The problem is somebody's got too much junk in the way over here. It's limited access over here.
I don't know who that would be.
Yeah, I don't know who would do something like that either. So you got to lubricate with some oil. So this is a sun and honing oil is what I use. High sulfur. The old stuff. I like it. It stinks. It cuts good. It's messy. All that good stuff. Make sure you put a little bit in here too. Okay. So now we got some issues. We got this is in the way. So we have to move this out of the way.
Well, the cleaning lady hadn't gotten here yet.
The cleaning department is lacking. And the table's dirty over here because somebody was doing a bunch of sanding over here the other night. Clean the table off. Yeah, see my hand got dirty. Now over here, this is in the way. So we'll just move out to there. We're golden.
Is that a Sportster
Now,
sprocket?
this is a Circle Industries sprocket made back in the 70s.
CI, yeah. That's off a Yamaha 250 DT1.
Actually, it's off of a Harley because it has a Harley bolt pattern on it. And it's 53 tooth, so I don't know who in the hell would want a 53 tooth Harley sprocket. That'd be like those stunt guys.
Something like Hill Climber or something.
Yeah.
Boy, look at that.
I already see a problem with this plan.
Yeah, but you're already by the high spot.
Not really. When it drops all the way through, it's through the high spot. And we're all the way now, we hit the bottom.
How come it didn't drop through?
We got drag on it. See how self-centered?
That one's oversized.
It didn't cut much. Probably didn't grind enough off. You don't know how loose these are when you're working with them. Took that much metal off there.
Well, that's not a lot, but it's something.
But you know what that is when you're grinding it out?
When you're doing what?
When you're holding on that, you know how much it is on your hands when you're hitting on them damn things?
I'm sure.
It's trying to rip your hands out when you're doing that with a hone. Okay, so now you can see where you actually cut material. Didn't cut much. Now I'm not sure what size I got that set for either.
Well, check with your standard.
I already know it's not going to go in the hole.
Well, it's always a good idea to start out small and go bigger, huh?
Well, if you cut it too big initially, it's going to be a problem. So 875 is standard. We're at 876. 876 is where we're at right now. Of course, this might be worn a little bit.
I don't think so.
I do. See, it's trying to go in, but not quite. So this didn't have enough cut out of it. I ground off the ends of it. But it's good enough for now. So now I get all the hate mail about cutting too much of that valuable Harley material. Irreplaceable Harley material.
But you didn't cut too much. You were conservative.
Yeah, I was very conservative, so I didn't cut enough. One thing about the commenters, they like to comment about everything I do wrong.
I don't think you did anything wrong yet.
I'm working too slow, how's that?
You know, all these naysayers, they can come here and start by cleaning up the shop.
That's my job.
Then we'll let them work up.
That's my job.
Hell, I'm 63 years old and you're still only letting me dump the rag bucket.
No, you might throw away the good one.
Well, that's true too.
Well,
That's something that you got to learn around here.
See, that one started to cut a little bit, and then it got easy.
Throw no rag away before it's time.
Oh, definitely not. Rag costs money, even they send it for free. See, that one cut a lot of metal out of that one. Look at that. I'm happy with that tool. That's working good. I haven't used this tool yet. I'm happy. That cuts nice. You never know how good a tool is until you use it, and you find out how good it is. So you can still see all the low spot in there. See over here you did a lot of cutting. See just the side here where the rocker wears the most. So you can see the cut mark right there, and there's no mark at all down there.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's all low in there still. Okay, now we're going to take our reamer and our two block assemblies. Over here to the real machine. Find an arbor to use. See, that one doesn't fit in the hole, so it's not the right one. That's a 13. That's a medium grit. That's a 7. See how the coarse difference? And then they got a 17 as the finest one. Now they quit making these manuals, I think, back in the 80s.
Why would they do that?
Because they work. Well, you buy one of these, or you got to buy two of these, this piece and this piece separate. That makes it better for them. The thing is, I get a straighter hole with this. Straighter and less out of round than those short ones. Okay, now this is the fun part. This part where it rips out of your hands and this stuff comes around.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But now that pre-reamed it, it should be all fairly round. Shouldn't be too bad. Squirts oil up there and gets it. Alright, so we need some oil to oil this one. Shut this one off. You have a good grip. If you let go, it gets you. That's nice. That reamer saved a lot of back and forth abuse on my hands. I like that. When you flip it 180, go out around. Quite going, see? There it goes. Ah! See, I'm holding on a nice, sharp, brand new cutting edge. It cuts the hell out of your finger if it slides or jams you. Again. Okay. There must be a little bit of a burr on here someplace, or a piece of the grinding grit got in there. Causing it to scratch a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to get us a few more strokes to give us some clearance.
Boy, that's pretty nice. What do you think the thickness of the lubrication is?
It's pretty thick oil, so
But you know what I mean? If it was clean, I just wondered how thick the...
it's probably like between a 50 and a 60 weight. Probably like a 50 weight. It's pretty sticky for what it is. All right, come over here. I don't want to drip it on the floor, but so you can see where it didn't hone right there on the edge. See that dark area? That's unhoned material. You can see the brass is completely cut. The steel didn't get cut. And over here, you can see how you're cutting the steel, but not the brass. See? So that the parts didn't quite go back on the same way they were originally, even though they're dowel pinned. And see this side here was more even. There's almost no line on that side. This one here is clean all the way around. Yeah, that's a full clean on that circle. You go on this side, you see the low spot again. And you see the low spot there. Because they never exactly go back perfect. That's why when you put the blocks on the bike, you have to tap with the hammer a little bit until they self-center, and then tighten them down. If your rocker and binds a little bit, just give a few taps and they'll self-center. Because the dowel pins have like a thou or half a thou clearance in them when you push them together. And that will show up here in the hone. Because we only got probably somewhere between a half and 1 thou clearance between this reamer and his hole. So if you move it a half a thou or a thou, it'll take that up instantly. Alright, so that saved a lot of time, a lot of grief on my part. Because before it jerks like this real hard, it tries to rip out your hand. Sometimes it does. The reamer over there eliminates the wear, which really out around bad. And it's self-centered, so I like that a lot. So next time I do these, I'll grind more off the tops. So now I know it works better. This is a lot rounder than the other one is. Finally. Okay, it goes in now. Now we'll go ahead and just get a little bit of clearance. 2, 3. 3 strokes for clearance. 1, 2. This one here, got the same low spot on that one side, fully honed on the other side. Yeah, it's consistent all 4 blocks. So it's just how the block,
Yeah.
how it wears, the arm wears out
So you're
more.
good, yeah.
Anyway, we got a new area to start with now, so it's cleaned up a little bit. Okay, so now I gotta go clean this all up. And we'll take these apart and we'll see how they work on the rock arms. So we'll be back.
Okay, we'll be back. What kind of stone is that?
It's a tool honing stone.
Also known as an oil stone.
They use them like knife sharpening, they call them an oil stone, but tool guys, they usually call them Arkansas stones, usually they call them. They come out of Arkansas, I think, at least the American made ones used to. So anyway, that makes it, if there's any burrs on there, it knocks them off. You ain't gonna do nothing about the low spots. We're just making sure there's
No high spot.
no high spots. So this side I use a lot for sharpening my knife and cleaning my mill table and stuff. This side here I don't use very often, that's why it's more flatter. So I just put a little light oil on it. In this case I use solvent on it. Just go back and forth across, and if you can feel any high spots, you definitely want to stay on a bit longer, but most of the time you don't really feel anything. Just want to make sure there's nothing sticking up. There's not a damn thing you do about low spots. But if you have any kind of a burr or anything on there, we'll definitely see it or feel it. See if we feel it over here, the wear. This actually is a pretty good set of rocker running blocks for being original stuff. You don't come across a lot of these original ones like this too often. This bike probably had 70 weight oil in its whole life in the damn thing.
Is that good?
Yep. Protects the parts. Nice thick oil gives you a nice good cushion. Protects the parts. I don't care what the hell these oil engineers say about thin oil is great. Just thin oil doesn't do anything. Nothing there. This stuff here, you get a couple drops on there where you need it, and that's all it needs. If you have a little thin ass oil in here, you have to have 50 pounds of pressure on here, you'd be through it and metal against metal and be gone. So these old bikes don't have that kind of oil pressure. So. Build them accordingly. Alright, so we'll see how these work now. Keep this out of the way where it don't get damaged. Kind of clean my table off. It looks clean. Like how I cleaned it. See the hole?
Very nice.
See, those are the reamer marks. See the scratches right there? That's the reamer. Reamers always leave marks. Hone marks leave hone marks too, but the marks are a lot finer. That's why honing is better than reaming. It gives you a truer, straighter hole if things are done correctly. So you only see the little bad spot right here is only a low spot. That much right there where my thumbnail is.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is clean. Even right here, it's right here on the edge. It's not quite clean, but close. So you put the arm in there. Like that. Make sure it turns right now. It does. So grab another one. Okay, which way that one go? That one that way. This will be the opposite. Now it doesn't matter which arm goes where because everything's freshly worn. This one has a big F stamped in it. This one has like a 1 or an I on it. Okay, so now you put these together. You do a quick mock-up like this, and then to do it right, you have to be actually on a head. That's going to be used on any position it's going to be because the head is always warped a certain direction. So you have to actually put it on the spot that's going to where it actually lives. Sometimes you have to come back and rehome one of these blocks. Just because you think everything's done does not mean it's done until it's on the bike and working. Okay, nice and free, nice and free. It's in play. Okay, now before we had up and down movement, you would get a click click noise. No more click click. It's always wears more on the valve side than the rocker side. See, there's no noise. All that extra clearance we had before is gone. Oop, almost dropped it. See, there's no noise. But it's nice and free, see?
Yeah, pretty sweet. Okay.
So these are good to go. So now when you put them on the head, if the head is flat, these will work good. If the head's warped a little bit, like a lot of times they are, on the mounting pads, then we'll have to come back and first you beat them with a hammer back and forth. Now you can hit them all day long up here on top, okay, right here. It doesn't hurt when you beat them on right here. You can do them up, down, different angles. This one here you can hit it here and here. It doesn't hurt. Just don't hit it on top of that. All through here you can hit them. You kind of readjust them and retighten them a couple times. And the way you tighten them up makes a difference. Easy on the bike, I go 1, 2, cross, 3, 4. Sometimes you got to go one this way and do it that way. The way you torque them down makes a difference how they drag.
Right.
You know, just keep play. If you got one that's dragging on, you go back and forth, try several different things. If you know it's got clearance right now, it should have clearance once on the bike. But
Okay.
you know, it just depends on how the head warps and all that. It changes. So you have to come back and play with it a little bit. For now, these ones are pretty nice. So that's our 58 set right there. Let's try this set here, make sure they're good. So this is a lot quicker than the way I used to do in the old days. I still have to regrind these tips yet, which I haven't done yet. That'll be the next thing we do after we double check this here. Yeah, I really like that reamer. That definitely saved a lot of work. So you can see the remarks going through there, but I don't really like that. But in this case, I get some more oiling holes, they call it. More oiling grooves. See how much that one's still worn?
Yeah.
This one could have been ground some more to make it a little bit better. What am I doing wrong? Let you go together. There it goes. This one might be tight. We'll see. This one might give me a little problems. I don't like coarse bolts too much. For here I do because it makes the assemble and unassemble quicker, especially if you're doing it by hand. Coarser threads move much quicker. Okay, this one might be tight. It's definitely tighter than the other one.
Let me call you back in just a minute.
This one's a little bit tighter than the other one, but it's free. But it's right there on the edge of being too tight. So, right there I can feel a little tightness in it.
It's quiet in here.
Yep,
Hey, how we doing there?
you're live now. So this one here I need to hone it just a little bit more. Give it a couple more strokes just to be happy with it. It's got a tight spot in there. It'll probably run all right, but I'm gonna give it a couple more strokes. We'll do this one again.
Okay.
All right, that's it for now.